Back to school is a busy time and an expensive one at that, with school supplies and buying a new wardrobe. So we're here at Plato's Closet in Sutherland, ready to show you how you can shop on a budget in one convenient location. Especially now that fall is here, it's time to pick up a few new items while getting rid of the old, as we show you on today's show. Coming up, a mother who lost her son shortly after his birth tells us how others going through similar experiences can receive support.
Meet our son and say goodbye to him all at once. It was absolutely overwhelming.
And we show you how you can be stylish this fall while still on a budget.
We're there to bring it home. Shaw TV, your local voice.
It's a new season, so it's time for some new clothes. But before we check out what Plato's Closet has and our first style idea, Saskatchewan's only professional French language theatre opens its 2016-2017 season with Oh My Irma. Simon Hyatt brings us a preview of this dark comedy.
Je me sentais comme... Je suis pas quelqu'un qui abandonne.
Actors can find their characters through a variety of sources. But Marie-Claire Marcotte's muse in Oh My Irma is one of the more unique inspirations.
The other day I was thinking, I have to embody an 8-year-old boy who constantly has to pee for an hour. So it's very physical.
The character she actually plays is a woman who is stuck in a state of arrested development as evidenced by her behavior. But while the action may look over the top, the subject matter is serious, as her character Mission Bird is investigating the death of her mother.
So it is a tragic subject matter, but told with so much heart and naivete and humor. She's such an endearing character.
Touches on some mental health issues also a little bit, and for me personally, just that fundamental need and desire that everybody has to connect with somebody.
Marcotte is the only actor on stage during the show, but she can lean on her director, David Granger. He feels they have formed a remarkable team in the lead up to the show.
They're alone there. I give her as many options and things that can help her go through the story as possible, but all in all, I can't be there to help her out, so it's trust and teamwork. It's been a wonderful experience for that, actually.
And Marcotte knows the material well, as she was also the one who adapted Haley McGee's script from English into French, which isn't as easy as it may sound.
Some expressions just don't work in French, so I try to make it work as much as possible, and if they didn't work in that moment, I'd have to find another moment in the play to add a certain quirkiness that kind of replaced the one I couldn't find in that specific moment.
But Marcotte had previous experience with translations and is also a friend and colleague of McGee's, making her the natural choice to bring the work to life for French-speaking audiences.
So she thought, why don't you translate it in French and translate it for yourself, so I could have some kind of creative freedom in choosing the type of Francophone translation that I wanted to as well, because Saskatchewan French has its own coloring.
Oh My Irma plays at Studio 914 through October 2nd with both surtitled and French-only productions. For Go on Shaw TV, I'm Simon Hyatt.
Fall is officially here, so it's time to clean out those closets, out with the old and in with the new. Here at Plato's Closet, they have so many things to choose from, and they're all at a really great price. Joining me right now is Ricardo, store manager of Plato's Closet here on 115th Street in Saskatoon. Ricardo, let's talk a little bit about this space. I was blown away first time here. I came in here, the walls are just chock-a-blocked with stuff. What do you love about this space when your customers come in? What's the response about Plato's Closet?
I think we're kind of a hidden gem, and people don't necessarily know we're here, but when they come in, they're kind of blown away. You're used to secondhand stores that are just like crazy. It's hard to keep them organized, but here everything's organized by size and color. It's really easy. We have lots of staff on all the time that love to make displays and put together outfits, so we do like fashion trend training with them every season, so they know exactly like what's coming into season, what's going out. They can help you with that too.
So you're getting the best of knowledge when you come in here. You're not just only getting such a wide selection, you have expertise from the staff here at Plato's Closet, which is great. What can you get when you come here to Plato's Closet?
Well, we do like teen, young adult, so we just say casual, last year to year and a half brand names, so like Lululemon, Bench, that kind of stuff is what's most popular for us. And it's all like a third of what it would be new, and we only do good to excellent condition, so it's still in really good condition.
That's a very good point. So like I mentioned, fall is here, so lots of people are cleaning out their closets. Can they bring stuff here and then pick up some new items?
Yeah, of course you can. You don't have to make an appointment. You come in, we have buyers on staff all the time, and then we give you cash right on the spot, or you can save your tax when you're shopping in the store too.
It's a win-win, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, so tell me a little bit about your experience working here at Plato's Closet. What do you love about styling and fashion? It's an exciting field because it's constantly changing.
Yeah, I like that. Even though the trends are the same for everyone, you can kind of put them in together in your own way. And especially for seasons like this where you get to layer it up, especially for a big boy like myself, it's nice to be able to have options and not go out and sweat your bum off and all that kind of stuff, yeah.
I absolutely understand. Well, lots of options here for all sizes and ages. Speaking of, we have our first model, Brooklyn. Come on in here, Brooklyn. This is more of like an everyday style that you can find here at Plato's Closet. Tell us a bit about that.
We went with plaid. The girls even are searching the guys plaid section. Right now it's really popular, the Flannel Friday. Hashtag is really popular
Love
here.
it.
Marsala, this like deep burgundy, is probably our most popular color. So anything in that color flies out the door. The boots, which I'm wearing similar ones.
Those
yeah,
boots.
that
Tell
kind
me
of like
about those
Timberland
boots.
look is really popular. These ones have a little platform on the back. So yeah, they're really cool.
And those boots, I find, they kind of dress up and bring the whole outfit together.
Totally.
All right, well, Ricardo's got a whole bunch of other styles to show us throughout today's show. Thank you so much, and we will be right back after the break.
It's where you live. Shaw TV, your local voice.
Later on Go, we find out what fans can expect from the Blades and their new head coach this season. And the province's First Nations University of Canada welcomes their new students.
I could spend hours at Plato's Closet digging through the racks, but before we came here for today's show, we stopped by the band shell at Kiwanis Park to learn more about an important awareness walk for the Empty Arms organization. October is Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month. Interestingly enough, Brianna Cope, Vice President of Empty Arms, an organization here in Saskatoon, was telling me that reportedly 25 to 30% of pregnancies end in the death of a baby. That's a shocking statistic to me, Brianna. You yourself know how that affects a family and yourself because you lost your son, Marlo. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so in August of 2013, we went for a routine 20-week ultrasound, and the ultrasound tech was, kind of taking her time, and we, she was saying things weren't measuring quite right, and but we left hopeful because she had said everything was there and accounted for, and we ended up going in to see our family doctor a couple of weeks later, finding out that that wasn't the case. Went for a follow-up ultrasound and found out that he, in fact, had no kidneys. And so when babies don't develop kidneys in utero, their lungs can't develop, so they'll never be able to breathe once they're born. And because we were past the 12 weeks, I didn't imagine that there was any danger left. I thought we were past that point of concern, where we were going to be going home with a healthy baby at this point. So to then have to start planning to go and meet our son and say goodbye to him all at once, it was absolutely overwhelming. Afterwards, we left the hospital with so many regrets. I never sang to my son. I never read to my son. I didn't dress him or bathe him. Everything was done by someone else because I didn't really know that that was an option for me. So then when I met Jasmine Herchak, our founder and president of Empty Arms, she had an even more devastating birth than we did. She didn't get pictures, she didn't get any time with her daughter, she got nothing. Her nursing staff was very clinical, medical, you know, and made sure that they took care of her, of Jasmine, that she was healthy and safe, but didn't make any recommendations as far as making time and spending time with her daughter. So she was even more so impassioned to start an organization like this. And so we sort of came together, and I took her passion and vision and my sort of fundraising and event planning abilities, and we just launched it off the ground, and that was just back in June of last year. And then we had our first family that we served in June, and over the summer we got a board together, and now we have about anywhere from 30 to 50 contributing volunteers at any given time.
So creating Empty Arms, has it helped you heal in any way?
Oh, immensely. Yeah, that's, you know, people often say, I don't know how you can do that. I don't, you know, or you guys are such amazing people to be able to help people like that. And while it's true that there's only, you know, certain types of people, because it does take a big emotional toll on us.
Of course.
There's also a big sort of selfish aspect to it, in that we get to honor and remember our babies with every birth that we attend, or every family that we counsel, or every grandma that we help, you know, and tell them that, of course, if you want to go down and see and hold your grandson, of course you can, you know? Like, these are questions that families ask us because they honestly don't know, just like we didn't know. So when we're contacted by a family, we let them know basically all of their options as far as what they can do to make the most out of the short time that they have left, whether baby's still alive or not. Just because your baby is born not breathing doesn't mean you don't get to spend that time with them and make the most of that time. So they come down with a book for them to read to their baby, a stuffed animal that they can, you know, snuggle with their baby. Some send it to be buried with them, some take it home so that they have something with them that touched their baby that they get to keep forever.
Creating those memories.
Absolutely, yeah.
Through Empty Arms, you really get to honor and remember your babies, and that's what you're doing with the second annual walk coming up on October 2nd. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so No Foot Too Small is the second annual Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Walk.
Okay.
So basically what we do with that walk is we start here at the Vimy Bandshell, and we walk last year we had about, I think, 87 participants. This year we have about double that so far registered. And we walk to the Edwards Family Center, which is actually where our support groups are held monthly, our support group meetings.
Good.
And we have a banner, and we have balloons, and we get our kids come with us, and we get to just walk and remember our babies and the babies of our friends, family, and just show the world that they mattered, and they still matter to us. They're extremely important.
And surprisingly, it's actually a lot more common than I ever thought. You mentioned to me 4 to 8 babies a week?
Yeah, so on average there's around 4 babies that pass away in either in utero or shortly after birth at RUH alone. And you know, in some weeks they've had up to around 8. And those are just the ones that actually come in and need assistance in labor and delivery. So that doesn't include anything earlier than the 20-week period where they are sent home to, you know, miscarry by themselves, or even just in emergency sometimes for some of those earlier losses. So that's strictly sort of what we call more a viable baby who has then passed away or will.
I absolutely love this organization because I can only imagine that there may be a lot of guilt that comes with losing a child like that. Is that true?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was, I mean, there's guilt everywhere you look in baby loss. I mean, everything from what did I do? How did I?
Where did I go wrong?
Yeah, how did I not keep this baby alive? That's the only thing you're supposed to do as a mother when you have a baby inside you is to keep it alive. And you know, we're told as soon as you're pregnant, you go in to see your doctor, and you're told if you do everything right, you know, take your prenatals, exercise, eat healthy, avoid certain things, you know, that you're going to end up with a healthy, happy baby.
Exactly.
And so when you're blindsided like we were, and like everyone is, of course the first thing we turn to is guilt. And then many families have guilt on top of guilt. Like in our case, you know, we had to deal with people saying, why didn't you just let nature take its course? You know, why did you induce? Why didn't you let him go full term? But can you imagine having a baby living inside of you for another 3 to 4 months that you knew was going to die? And, you know, random people coming up to you and saying, you must be so excited.
Right, of course. Yeah.
And trying to explain to your 2-year-old why, even though mommy's still pregnant and belly's getting bigger every day, why she's not going to have a little brother to take home.
Wow. Well, it's definitely more of a cause that people should learn about, which is, it's great to hear that you're having a second annual walk, and it's even more well received by the community this year.
Yes.
So whether you yourself have experienced something like this, you know of someone who's experienced something like this, or you just want to come out and support this extremely important cause and get that awareness out, the second annual walk, October 2nd, kicking off right here at Vimy Memorial in Kiwanis Park. Time?
Starts at 1:30, and it'll wrap up roughly around 4 o'clock at the Edwards Family Center. Of course, there's usually a few tears shed and some hugs that last a little longer than expected. There is a registration form and a waiver form, but you can do that on our Facebook page. There's a link at the top of our Facebook page, or you can search us on Facebook, just Empty Arms, and it'll come right up.
Well, Brianna, thank you so much for coming out here to Kiwanis Park to talk more about Empty Arms' second annual walk on October 2nd. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're there to bring it home. Shaw TV, your local voice.
Plato's Closet in Sutherland is a hidden gem in our city to find pretty much anything you need to put into your closet, especially now that fall is here. Interesting fact, not only can you come here and find a whole bunch of different styles, but you learn a little bit about the actual philosopher Plato. The store was named after Plato because he was one of, or the person, to come up with the concept of recycling, which is what Plato's Closet is all about. I absolutely love that. Ricardo's teaching me a little bit about that. But first, let's talk a little bit about this outfit. I'm in love with this jacket.
Yeah. We picked this one's Guess. So it's like a utility jacket, we call them. Anything with this like leather accent on the sleeve is really popular. This army green, again, these jackets are like flying out of the store. And this one's like Guess, but it is only $35. We paired it with a big chunky knit scarf, which we have them in every color.
Perfect for fall?
Yeah, totally. And then you can just wear like basics are really popular too. So just like a basic t-shirt underneath. Destroyed denim is what we call it. It's not even distressed, it's destroyed. So like the bigger the holes, the more ripped, the more popular they are for us right now.
I love it.
Yeah, totally. And then the boots are Michael Kors, which are only $25, which is a really good deal. And they've got a platform again, so they're kind of that like combat boot looking, but then they're a little jazzed up. So you could like go to lunch or go shopping for the day, whatever you want on your way to work.
Yeah, it is amazing. We mentioned it in the first segment, but how much shoes can really dress up or dress down an outfit.
Because you could wear this with like flat black moccasins with a little fringe or something, and then you're like a little more casual. Yeah, totally.
Absolutely. You feeling good? Yeah, you look fantastic. And ripped jeans, I love how you said the bigger the holes. People probably, if they know me, will laugh because I literally have jeans that the holes just get bigger and bigger the more you wash them. Totally. But I am still wearing them to this day, and people are like, you know, maybe you should think about not wearing them, but I think they're so cool looking.
Yeah, totally. And like, sometimes you'll take like sandpaper and make them bigger or something. Like
or cheese grater.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Whatever you need to do, right?
That is fantastic. So we're calling this, you know, more of a work attire afternoon look. Well, you look absolutely fantastic. We have another look coming up from Ricardo here at Plato's Closet, and he's going to put me in my very own look. It's all coming up on today's Go on Shaw TV, which will be right back after the break.
It was another turbulent offseason for the Saskatoon Blades, as despite being under contract for 3 more seasons, former head coach Bob Woods was allowed to leave to take an assistant's job with the Buffalo Sabres. When the team sought to fill the position, they looked internally, as former assistant Dean Brockman is now head coach. And although there is typically a different dynamic between players and assistants versus head coaches, Brockman doesn't feel like much has changed.
Certainly you have to have the hammer when you need it, and for me it's it's personality, and I think you want guys to look at you the same way. I mean, obviously you got to change some things in some systems and so on and so forth, but the person who you are is who you are.
As the team kicks off the regular season this weekend, Brockman feels good about the way the Blades played in the preseason. They split their 6 games, including a 5-4 win against Edmonton last Friday.
You feel positive. We ended on a winning note, so that's a good thing. And, we're just, fine-tuning a lot of things that we need to fine-tune. And guys have been responsive and have been really good. They've competed really hard.
The still relatively young team will, of course, evolve over the course of the season. Veteran forward Ryan Graham has been lost for a month due to injury, while Libor Hayek is currently away at NHL training camp. And 2 new faces have recently arrived following trades for defenseman Jackson Collar and netminder Logan Fladell.
Those guys just solidify things for us, and you just got to always try and improve your team if you can. I think for us with a young group, you want to insulate those guys the best you can, and if you can bring in some guys that you don't have a piece of, it's important to do that.
Brockman knows as well as anyone the struggles the Blades have experienced over the past few seasons. And while he is optimistic about this year's squad, he stopped short of making any predictions about whether or not the team's playoff drought would come to an end.
I mean, we just want to take the week that is. I think for us to get too far ahead of ourselves, we want to win on Friday night, and if we don't win there, we got to win the next game. It's all about day by day. I think, predictions are, you're just setting yourself up for failure. But, our work ethic and our goal is to win every game.
For Sega's Inside Edge, I'm Simon Hyatt.
Well, it never hurts to have a couple statement pieces in your closet, and I think that's a perfect definition of these vests that both Lena and myself are wearing. Let's start with Lena's look here, Ricardo.
Yeah, so it's funny because these things, people are like, I would never wear that. I would feel ridiculous, but it's like warm, it's cute, they're not expensive, and then you go out and it's hard not to feel fabulous. And like when you're walking down the street and there's like a cool breeze and you're just warm and comfy. But yeah, it just like jazzes up an outfit. And we paired it with like a crushed velvet, so it's nice and soft and warm. I think fall is like really about texture too. So you can rub her, it's delicious, it's awesome. We went with cute little fringe boots.
Cute.
Fringe is probably one of our biggest trends too this year. So purses, jackets, shoes, like everywhere, all over the place. Yeah.
That is so funny. My mom actually gave me a purse that had fringe on it, and I was like, I will never ever use that.
Right?
But this season, you're so right. I've seen more and more fringes. So this is something you would go out in at night, and like you said, it'll keep you warm.
Yeah, and you could wear it with like tights or something. You could definitely wear like boot cuffs at the bottom. Little scrunchy boot cuffs are really popular, especially jewel tones too. So like anything in those warmer things is definitely nice.
And of course, you can find all of this right here at Plato's.
Yeah, totally. We're on 115th Street in Sutherland, and you should definitely come visit.
All right, talk to me a little bit about this outfit. I love this sweater, very warm indeed, and I love the color of this.
Totally, and we paired it, you can wear it with like skinny jeans, you could wear like the distressed denim we talked about, or black leggings, anything like that. And then you could wear like a little lower heel kind of thing to jazz it up if you were going out for the evening, but this is good for like spending your afternoon and your day in.
Absolutely. Now, I do want to touch base on that Plato's Closet also has things for younger kids as as well.
Yeah, our other store, Once Upon a Child,
Yeah.
so they're on Gray Avenue, and they do like kids, babies, toys, all that kind of stuff. And especially when you grow out of them that fast, they're still in awesome condition, so it's like so cheap to go there. I have a new nephew and I stop there all the time.
Exactly, and let's reiterate, if you have old things in your closet, it's fall time, it's time to treat yourself to some new outfits. Bring them into Plato's Closet.
Yeah, definitely. And we're open till 9 every day during the week. We're open on the weekends, and yeah, it's lots of fun, so come play.
What type of things are you looking for from community members when they come in here?
The thing to remember is we do buy stuff that people are still interested in buying.
Okay.
So don't just clean your closet and bring everything. It makes it a little faster for you if you sort out. We're still looking for good to excellent condition, current from the last year, casual, teen, young adult, like I said, is our demographic. But definitely like boots, jackets, sweaters, menswear, especially right now, we're definitely looking for.
And what a perfect time, right? Back to school, so that's a bit hard on the wallet sometimes. So why not come here and check out some new things?
Yeah, it's definitely good for students, single parents, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Very cool. All right, Plato's Closet in Sutherland. Ricardo, thank you so much for showing us some great styles. I don't really want to take this off, but we'll be right back after the break.
Creating local TV that matters to your community. Shaw TV, your local voice.
From shoes to pants, Plato's Closet has you covered for the fall season. But before we have to wrap up today's show, let's take a look at our final story.
First Nations University of Canada Northern Campus held its new student orientation at the Margot Fournier Centre. About 130 students started classes in Prince Albert this fall for the first time. Classes are quite full this semester.
We have students who are coming into all different things. So we have students going to arts and science, some who may not be sure, some are doing their arts and science to get into the nursing program. We have students pursuing a degree in education, elementary education, social work, business administration. We also have certificate programs, so we do have some students here to take that as well.
Depending on their field of study, some students can finish all 4 years of their degree in Prince Albert. Students in the nursing program have to transfer to the U of S.
We are affiliated with University of Regina, and since we're Northern Campus, like the classes that we offer and we provide, they can fulfill all those degree programs here. The only program that we don't offer is the nursing program, so that we do have those students come to do that first year arts and science that they need to get into the nursing program. But then traditionally they transfer over to the U of S nursing program, which is still in Prince Albert.
This year marks a special anniversary for the First Nations University in the province.
And this is our 40th anniversary year, so we're going to be having some celebrations at every campus in Regina, Saskatoon, and Prince Albert. So all these students are coming into a long legacy of learning, continuing on, so hopefully that continues here.
It's where you live. Shaw TV, your local voice.
From everyday looks to a night out on the town, we've seen style ideas for all ages and shapes on today's show. A big thank you to Ricardo and of course our models for showing us how you can be stylish while on a budget. A great place to check out all of what Plato's Closet has in store is on their Facebook and Instagram page. And of course, while you're online, make sure you drop by our social media as well. Thanks so much for tuning in to today's Go on Shaw TV. I'm your host, Janella Hamilton. We'll see you next time.